Game comes to Reality+Elf Saint+Transformation+Rebirth. At the age of 35, Jiang faced a crucial hurdle in his career. Should he choose to resign in anger or reluctantly be transferred to a small company? At the same time, a virtual world game called Metaworld suddenly appeared in the world. However, Jiang, who was suffering from many troubles in life, did not pay attention to this. Instead, when he finished work, he met a crazy coser. She looked at Shi with great anticipation, smiled delicately, and raised her gun towards him. Without flames or gunshots, bullets hit Jiang's forehead like silent assassins. The next day, Jiang woke up to find that he had memories of the next 10 years. Chapter 1. Natural Beauty of Bones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There are zombies in the text, please place your brain properly. Non-remarriage, special circumstances, stop if you don't like it. In the scorching summer. The air conditioning in the office is blowing cold. The sound of typing on the keyboard is endless. Jiang. A voice that was neither heavy nor light suddenly sounded, causing all the keyboardists to stop and secretly look at the speaker. Jiang looked up in confusion when he heard someone calling him. The office director stood at the door, looking at him with an indifferent expression. Come to my office for a moment. Then turn around and leave. At this moment, a faint chat sounded in the workshop. Why did the director suddenly contact Jiang? Is there anything important? I heard that the company's performance is not good and it is going to lay off employees. It's not like Jiang is going to be laid off, is it? He's so experienced, he has no credit but also hard work. What about old qualifications? 35 years old is the hurdle for programmers, if you can't pass it, you can only be optimized. Jiang stood up calmly, anticipating the upcoming conversation. After all, his friend from the personnel department informed him last night. At the age of 35, he is indeed a programmer's hurdle. Without the life of a leader, he can only be optimized by structure. Colleagues around him looked at him with pitiful eyes. The bald colleague sitting at the right-hand workstation patted Jiang's shoulder. It's okay, I'm fired. I'll go set up a stall with you to sell grilled noodles. Jiang laughed and cursed, get out of here, work hard, and save more money. Last night, he received news that he had been feeling uncomfortable all night. After pressing the keyboard all morning, his mood finally calmed down. At this age, Jiang is no longer a spirited teenager and has to accept a fact. He has been working in this company for 10 years, from a monthly salary of 8,000 when he first entered the company at the age of 25 to the current salary of 30,000 in May, becoming an unattainable height for many people, and also an old guy that the company constantly wants to kick out. Because his salary allows the company to recruit 3 fresh college students who are pink, tender, young, and energetic. Besides, he is quite old in the programmer industry. This industry suffers from severe overtime, and the older you get, the more likely you are to die suddenly. At that time, the company will have to pay a compensation, so it's better to resign early. In summary, they have been doing well and have higher qualifications than ordinary employees, but have not yet become leaders. Optimizing the structure is a matter of time. Come to the director's office. Xiao Su, have you received the message from the HR department? The speaker is Li Jinyan, the office director of Jiang. It was airborne from above. Jiang looked at his face, which was even younger and richer than himself, and felt unwilling. Just a nod, counted as a response. There are 2 contracts here, one for termination and compensation, and the other for working at another company. Take a look. Li Jinyan's tone was plain, throwing 2 pieces of information on the table and then continuing to play games on his phone. Double kill, triple kill, quadra kill, aced. His phone is playing arrogant game sound effects. Shit, play with me, you. His mother robbed me 5 times. Believe it or not, I won't call you next time. Li Jinyan let go of his contract and missed out on 5 kills. His face trembled with fat and he was very angry. I'm sorry, Mr. Li. It's my fault. Let me play as an assistant to protect you. A young voice came from the voice, apologetic and humble. Get out of here, I need to assist. Why not call for a girl to play with? Su Jiang sighed and suppressed his unwillingness. Picked up the 2 contracts on the table and looked at them. There is no problem with the termination contract, it is a normal N+1 compensation. The other one is a permanent contract, which involves working as a computer repairman in a small company under the group, in simple terms, to solve the problems caused by Shirshan code. 8,000 monthly salary. Silent. A month of 8,000 yuan, after paying the child support, there isn't much left. Su Jiang looked at this contract with resentment and helplessness in his heart. He worked tirelessly for the group for 10 years, but still couldn't avoid the ultimate outcome for programmers. Director, the HR department has informed me to resign within a month. Can you let me consider it first? Su Jiang said after reading 2 documents. Li Jinyan didn't lift his head and said, okay, let me know before you leave, and at the same time, explain the work at hand. Okay. What does Li Jinyan say? He learned a lot about computer science and became a fake graduate student abroad. When he returned, he directly became their director. He doesn't know programming, but he has connections and knows how to delegate power. Even if something goes wrong, there are people to help him. Simply put, it means having self-awareness. What was the work content within the department before, and how has it been since he came? There are no new officials taking office, and there is no guidance from outsiders or experts. So even if everyone knew that Li Jinyan had parachuted and taken Su Jiang's position, no one came forward to say anything. Su Jiang returned to his seat and looked at the incandescent light on the ceiling with empty eyes. A young colleague approached. Jiang, after resigning, if there is a way to get rich, don't forget us. Su Jiang smiled wearily and said, there's no chance of getting rich. The future belongs to your young people, and I'm an old guy who's useless. The bald colleague said discontentedly, dismissing you, I think this is a loss for the company. After work, Su Jiang followed the noisy crowd to the subway station. He is like a sardine drifting with the tide, and can only reluctantly control his direction in the crowd. This kind of life has been going on for 10 years, but today I didn't work overtime and left early, but after work, it was much more crowded. The fast subway shuttles between towering buildings. Looking at this colorful city, Su Jiang suddenly felt an indescribable fatigue and grievance. Sigh. Su Jiang let out a sigh again. At this moment, a girl wearing cosplay costumes walked through the crowd and came to his side. The dark red skirt rippled and approached Su Jiang with a mysterious and noble aura. Her face is extremely delicate, as if it were a masterpiece of nature, perfect and flawless. The exposed skin is delicate, white, and tender. The slender and delicate little hand gently rested on the rough back of Su Jiang's hand. His wine-red eyes looked at him with a smile rather than a smile. Su Jiang's palm, holding the armrest, instantly emitted a layer of fine sweat. The warmth in the girl's palm seemed to melt Su Jiang's entire body. Just a touch made Su Jiang feel hot all over. Su Jiang has been married before, and although he is divorced, it is still the first time he has felt this kind of heart-pounding sensation. He is even more excited than when he first got married, and his heart is beating violently. He was so passionate for the first time, as if he had lost all his control. He wished he could immediately hold her and carry her home. Don't think about your future, think about your daughter. Su Jiang, please be clear-headed. Can't so many porcelain bumps make you scared now? Su Jiang bit his tongue hard, and his gaze suddenly became clear. Then recalling the frequent incidents of ex-harassment in the news, Su Jiang suppressed his desire for the regret chair and the fear of cursing criminals on his back. After calming down, Su Jiang felt weak sweat on his forehead and back. Too charming, the legendary dodgy, but that's all. Jiang felt fearful of the desire to break through the sky just now. A gentle teasing can arouse such a strong desire in him. Is this girl a fox spirit? Chapter 2, is this also considered rebirth? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. According to the current development of society, even if the girl who delivers the door is not someone who touches the porcelain, she is likely to find an honest person to take over. Jiang doesn't want to be a scapegoat. Unknowingly pull back the palm. Glancing at the girl. She seemed to be chuckling lightly. But I didn't hear any laughter. Jiang knows who her cosplay character is. When Jiang was in college, he began to contact the anime and understand the anime. Although the enthusiasm has faded, Jiang occasionally goes to the manga exhibition to play during holidays. After all, after the divorce, his daughter was also awarded to his ex-wife, and the family was empty. He had to find a way to relieve his loneliness. And this person is emanating from all over, come and bully me, ravage me. This kind of weak signal girl, Cos, is actually Shizaki Kwangsan from Date Battle. Jiang withdrew his gaze. In order to prevent myself from watching the girl again, I took out my phone and scrolled through the news to divert my attention. Metaverse. Jiang saw this suddenly popular news on various forums. Feeling puzzled. Isn't it just hyping up the concept of the metaverse again, trying to make money? At the same time, electronic screen advertisements inside the subway also display the arrival of next-generation games. Virtual game premiere, Metaworld will open in a week. Virtual game debut. Is it VR? But now VR devices are not widespread, and even if there is overwhelming promotion, no one may be willing to spend tens of thousands of yuan on VR devices. Jiang felt inexplicable about this suddenly popular topic. Then it was classified as a Ponzi scheme, and 2 years ago, the popular metaverse was a very classic Ponzi scheme. After deceiving a lot of investments, it still has no results to this day. The metaverse is indeed the trend of the future world, but just as the concept is emerging, there are a group of people using this name to deceive people and even cheat a lot of money. It can only be said that there are too many fools, and scammers are not enough. The train is about to arrive at Baiyun Station, please be careful of the gap between the train and the platform. The sound of arriving at the station came. Jiang put away his phone. Glancing at the girl teasing her. Her wine-red eyes were fixed on the advertisement on the electronic screen. Her delicate lips were tightly pursed like cherry blossoms. Jiang saw her delicate and charming face, and it was not without other thoughts. But there have been too many incidents of touching porcelain in the past 2 years. As the male protagonists in these incidents, they have all caused a lot of trouble, died in society, lost their jobs, and are all simple. In severe cases, they may even be detained. Even if I prove my innocence later on, life cannot go back to the past. Jiang dare not think too much. Without a stable transaction to clarify the relationship between the two parties, Jiang would not come into contact with such an unknown girl. Quickly leave the subway station. Half an hour later, Jiang returned to his own home. Push open the door. The lights inside are bright. I didn't turn off the lights. Jiang had his first thought, suspecting whether he had forgotten to turn off the lights before going to work today. Impossible. Before going to work, I never turned on the lights. Why didn't I turn them off? Pick up an umbrella on the inside of the door, hold it tightly in your hand, and walk carefully inside. Then I saw a young girl wearing a dark red dress half leaning on the sofa, her black silk feet stepping on the sofa, while the other one was lazily resting on the coffee table, swaying left and right. The girl still held his switch in her hand and skillfully pressed it. This is his state during vacation. How does this girl's movements resemble his expression when he was salted fish? Jiang's heart was full of doubts, but at the same time, he was a bit uncertain. How did she come to my house? Oh, you're back. The girl had a smile on her face, her delicate appearance resembling a blooming blood rose, so beautiful as to allure to an abyss. She spoke silently, like an actor performing a mime. This sentence was read by Su Jiang from the girl's lips. The slightly moving cherry lips are like delicious jelly, making people unable to resist taking a bite. Although Su Jiang wanted to immediately kick the girl out, in order to avoid physical contact, he could only carefully stay away from the girl, open his phone recording, and seriously ask, "Who are you and why are you at my house?" The girl shrugged her shoulders helplessly. "Bend down and search for things in the cabinet under the coffee table." Su Jiang frowned, completely puzzled by what she wanted to do. Several old things were flipped out by the girl and casually thrown aside. In no time, she flipped over to a notebook and a pen. Placed the old yellowed notebook on the desktop, spread it out, and then opened the cap of the ballpoint pen to write and draw on it. The brilliant sunlight in the evening poured into the room. The orange sun shone on the girl's face and hair. The thick bangs were blown by a gentle breeze. Su Jiang saw the left eye of the girl's golden clock. Even if it's a professional coser, it's impossible for Kos to have such spiritual energy, right? The girl wrote and drew on the paper a few times, but ultimately sighed. Because she was unable to leave any handwriting on the paper, even without a single scratch on the tip of the pen. The old yellow paper remained unchanged as it had just been opened. The girl felt helpless and muttered, "Forget it, it's unbelievable to be able to come back successfully. Let's get down to business first." Su Jiang didn't know what the girl was muttering. His lips moved too fast for him to understand. The next moment, a vintage rifle appeared in the girl's hand. The black barrel of the gun was aimed at Su Jiang. Su Jiang's pupils contracted rapidly, his body was tense, and his mind was tense. What thing? Guns. Regardless of the authenticity of the gun, how did it appear? It seems to have appeared in the blink of an eye. Su Jiang was shocked in his heart. If the gun was real, the distance could not be avoided, and he was not sure if he could snatch it before she fired. Quickly raising his hands, throwing away the umbrella and showing a pleasing smile, he said, "I surrender. Whether it's your magic or whether you're Shizaki Kuzo himself, I have no intention of harming you." The girl didn't intend to say much, the ancient rifle burst into flames. There was no sound, no smoke, and it didn't even make Su Jiang react. A red light jumped out of the muzzle and directly hit Su Jiang's head. Intense pain suddenly appears. It hurts so much. Without waiting for Su Jiang's reaction, endless darkness invaded. In the final glow, only the girl walked towards him. "Am I going to die?" Before closing his eyes completely, a hint of regret flashed in his mind. "I knew I had called the police first the next day." 9 o'clock in the morning. Ringtones. The set alarm clock rings. Su Jiang woke up in shock and suddenly sat up, as if a drowning person had just been rescued, panting heavily. Where is this? Looking around, Su Jiang felt a bit unfamiliar. But more importantly, the headache is splitting. Holding his head, he took several sips of cold air before easing the pain. Taking the alarm clock next to waking up casually, Su Jiang looked at the time on it. His face solidified. In 2023. The opening time of Metaverse 10 years ago. Is this a rebirth? It doesn't seem right, it's not rebirth, hiss. Headache, this is the memory of the next 10 years. Su Jiang recalled fragmented memories in his mind. Suddenly accepting the memories of the next decade, Su Jiang instinctively believed that it was 2033, but it was not. At present, the brain is in a self-protection state, blocking most of the additional information and only remembering some fragmented information. Su Jiang saw from these fragmented memories that Shizaki Kwangsan used the 12 bombs to send his clone back, and then the scene of Shizaki Kwangsan shooting himself unconscious last night occurred. Yud bet. Swallow and store enough time to send a target back to the past. That is to say, Kwang-san has passed on memories of the next 10 years to me. Jiang endured the excruciating pain and pondered. He vaguely remembered that the effect of a skill in Crazy 3 was like this. Yud. Hitting the target and transmitting past memories to the target. Chapter 3. Encountering the past scenery again. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Is this considered rebirth? Jiang felt the extra memories in his mind and said in his heart. Then she wondered what kind of relationship she had with Kwang-san in the future, and what happened that it was worth her using the 12 bombs to go back in time. Make up enough time to launch the 12 bombs, she should have killed quite a few people. Jiang turned on the TV with a complicated mood. There was no trace of Kwang-san in the room, as if being shot last night was a dream. But the extra memories were telling him that it was actually happening. At the same time, the morning news is broadcasting information from Metaverse. Yesterday, a virtual game called Metaworld invaded the networks of various countries and carried out viral marketing. According to the latest news from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, this is a dangerous act that disregards international rules and undermines international peace. It is hoped that a country or company developing Metaworld will stop this intrusion behavior, and the public is also advised to remain vigilant about unknown games. The news is indeed reporting on this matter. When this game first appeared, the whole world thought it was developed by the United States. Even if the United States personally denied this, no one believed it and still implemented a boycott policy. It wasn't until a few months later at the things in Metaverse could have an impact on reality, that people truly believed that this game was not a conspiracy of the United States. With the current level of technological development, no country can develop games that allow players to use their skills in real life. Then someone said. This may have been developed by aliens. As soon as the speech was made, it became very noisy. But not really. From those fragmented future memories, Jiang knew that this was a spiritual world unconsciously constructed by the human race. At first, it was full of twists and turns, with the sky collapsing and the earth collapsing. Then, the spiritual world began to evolve, using the real world and human imagination as materials, ultimately evolving into a relatively stable space. It's the current metaverse. If that's all, then Metaverse is just giving humanity an additional form of entertainment. However, there is more to it. Through future memories, Jiang knows that human emotions and subconscious have an extremely serious impact on this space. It can be said that all the behaviors in this game are jointly chosen by most humans in their subconscious, including later invading other races, including the Milky Way, and making the monsters in the game appear in reality. Finally, it developed into an enemy with the entire Milky Way galaxy. All are influenced by human subconscious, so humans cannot blame the game itself. In my past life, I didn't think much about it. The next day, I chose a second contract and was sent to a subsidiary of the group. I lived a boring life of working, overtime, and leaving work every day. Due to the public's vigilance towards Metaverse and unwillingness to spend money to purchase and eliminate VR devices that are extremely fast, Jiang missed the opening of the game's server. By the time the country demanded that everyone enter the game, a few players had already become the dominant force in the game. And Jiang, due to his special talent, was captured and imprisoned by one of the overlords. Jiang felt through future memories that his life was very miserable after entering the game in his past life. However, whenever he wanted to recall more, he had a sense of fear of touching the unknown realm. It seems like there is an abyss that makes people fall instantly. Forget it, if you can't remember it, it's not a problem for now. Now it can be considered rebirth, and everything still has the possibility of change. Sorting out the fragmented memories, Jiang returned to the company. Sign another resignation contract. Since Jiang knows the direction of the future world, he will definitely not waste time on work and earning money anymore. Moreover, the future world, although there is still order, more emphasis is placed on the strong, and the role of money is no longer as powerful as it is now. Unless the order in China does not collapse, money can still be valuable. After resolving the trivial matters, Jiang returned home. I ordered a VR device and also browsed the popular communication forums to learn about the situation. Oh my goodness, is virtual gaming the kind of virtual game I think of? Sword and Sword are not deceiving me, even though it was a year late, virtual games still appeared. The country says that this game may be a conspiracy by foreign forces, but I think it's better to forget it. Besides, there was no news about this virtual game before it appeared, and now it's almost time to launch the server and promote it worldwide. No matter how you look at it, it's not right. The cheapest VR device costs tens of thousands of yuan and I can't afford to play it. Hehe, I think it was created by external forces. How could Earthlings nowadays create virtual games like swords? Jiang looked at various conspiracy theories on the internet and didn't find them strange. Anyone will maintain a certain level of vigilance towards the unknown, especially when it comes to technology that clearly does not appear to be of this era. And if you want to play this game, you have to spend 10,000 yuan to purchase VR devices from the beginning, which most people cannot afford. However, this situation will soon improve. Half a year later, Metaworld made reference to a large number of internet and human consciousness materials, and achieved sufficient growth. Along with it comes the invasion of reality, forming a huge network of human thoughts. The mind network allows all humans to access the internet with their minds anytime, anywhere, without the need for any device. At that time, any country's prevention and containment would be in vain. Even though, they all arrogantly believe that this game was created by aliens with unclear intentions. 2 days later, the equipment purchased by Jiang arrived. Follow the tutorial, set up the device, and then slowly wait for the game to start. During this period, the advertisements of Metaverse continued to bombard the world, leading to many countries openly opposing this kind of privacy infringement and disregard for human life and death propaganda behavior, but their opposition was of little use. Because we can't even find who the game company is or where it is located. 5 more days have passed. It is the time when the game's server was launched. After dinner and taking a shower, Jiang lay in bed with a VR device. In an electronic space, there was a huge electronic screen resembling a computer desktop, and Jiang saw an additional game on the desktop. It's Metaverse. It's 11.30 now, and there are still half an hour left until the server opens. Jiang took advantage of boredom and called his daughter, asking how she had been lately and if there were any places where she needed money. Yu is very sensible. No need, Dad. I'm not short of money. Isn't Mom by your side? Yu glanced at her mother who had a hangover and hasn't woken up yet. She didn't want to hear her father and mother arguing again, so she could only whisper, Mom has gone to work. Okay, when your mother comes back, ask her to give me a call. Okay. A soft and sticky sound came from the phone. Jiang sighed slightly. The emergence of the Metaverse will change everyone's fate, and Jiang hesitated a bit whether to let his ex-wife and daughter follow the Ren one step. Just thinking of the contempt and ridicule that his ex-wife showed when the court verdict fell, Jiang was enraged. Yu is innocent, and Jiang doesn't want his daughter to end up in the same tragic fate as in her previous life. At this point, time has arrived at 12 o'clock. Launch Metaverse. Jiang's mind manipulated the virtual space, causing it to undergo an instant change. Game starting. Logging into server. In the thought link. A few lines of white characters appear in the pitch-black virtual space. Many people log into the game at this moment. Mind connection technology can be considered as one of the future technologies that humans can understand and achieve initial results. After all, at the technology exhibition, there are workers wearing sensing helmets to control the movement of robots, which is one of the applications of mind connection. What scares them now is that this game actually applies this technology, and it seems to be a mature technology. How can current VR devices possibly support this technology? They are at a loss for understanding. Entering the game, Su Jiang looked at the login screen in front of him, and the fragmented memories in his mind gradually overlapped. Suddenly, there is a feeling of revisiting the old place. Chapter 4. Engraved Emperor. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Dear player, welcome to log into Metaverse. Metaverse will become even more magnificent and grand due to your presence. A crisp voice sounded. A young woman wearing plain white hanfu stood in the hall with a mechanical smile on her face. Su Jiang couldn't help but smile when he saw her appearance. This woman is wearing Chinese hanfu, but her appearance is typical of blonde hair and blue eyes, resembling a Western elf. This is because the evolution of Metaverse has not yet evolved into character barriers, regional barriers, and racial barriers between humans. The current Metaworld is just a mechanical program with no sense of boundaries or consciousness. Therefore, it is normal to have such a guidance program that combines Chinese and Western elements. Please choose your attribute development bias, said the guide. 3 options appear on the screen. Strength. Wisdom. Equilibrium. Choose Strength. Each time you upgrade your attributes, you will focus on strengthening your body. Afterwards, you can switch to physical professions such as sword cultivator, warrior, knight, and more. Choose Wisdom. Each time you upgrade your attributes, you will focus on increasing your spiritual aspect. Afterwards, you can switch to magical professions such as talisman, mage, and charm master. Finally, there is balanced development, moving forward step by step. Although it may seem like comprehensive development, it is actually not. This option is only suitable for single-player players, because advancing in unison means mediocrity. Without special circumstances, it is difficult to achieve success. Players with teammates or guilds can choose their preferences and complement each other to achieve a 1+1-2 effect. Su Jiang frowned. He, who has future memories, knows that after selecting attribute bias, it is the initial talent that every player must draw. If attribute bias is selected, this game will randomly select a talent that suits you based on your preference. If a player chooses a power bias, but the most suitable talent for them is a mage class, then they can only miss out on higher level talents. Can I first draw talent and then choose attribute bias based on talent? The guide smiled and said, sure. Click. A magnificent turntable appeared in front of me in an instant. The guide continued, before talent extraction, the player's initial talent is drawn based on the most suitable talent range for the player, but luck is also a form of strength. The level of talent that can be drawn is purely determined by personal luck. Announcement of talent extraction probability. Normal talent 50%, intermediate talent 30%, advanced talent 20%. Do you want to start extracting? Let's get started. Ding. Congratulations on winning the advanced talent dimensional avatar. The game prompt sound will sound. Seeing this talent, Su Jiang's brain suddenly hurt, and his thinking body experienced a violent fluctuation, as if it would explode into a large amount of data in the next moment. Dimensional incarnation. Getting this talent again, Su Jiang's scattered memories became more coordinated. In my previous life, it was this talent, and in this life, it is also. Su Jiang sorted out some of his memories. Players with the talent of dimensional incarnation in their past lives are very rare, with about 1 in 10 million people. And the reason why he was imprisoned is because of this talent. Players with this talent can become corresponding fantasy characters as long as they obtain the core items of their fantasy characters. For example, Shizaki Kwang-san. In her past life, Su Jiang obtained the core item of Shizuki Kuzo and used his time ability to break free from the control of the hegemon. In order to change her tragic past, she kept hunting monsters, strengthening her talents, and searching for a way back to the past. Recalling this, Su Jiang suddenly realized that last night when Chi Kwang-san was actually his clone, so it is inevitable that he will draw this talent, and in the future, he will also receive the core item of Shizaki Kwang-san again. the Emperor of Engraved. Time and space require a closed loop, and the occurrence of this is absolute. As for the characters who have changed in their past lives, Jiang can't recall them a bit, and even has a vague aversion. It seems that there is a force preventing oneself from opening the door to the abyss. Judging from this situation, something bad should have happened. Seeing this, Jiang couldn't guess his past life situation. Later on, I felt quite helpless, whether it was feng shui taking turns or not. After his divorce, his favorite thing to do is to invite acquaintances to play at the comic exhibition, and then however, he couldn't recall whether these memories had been sealed by his past life or he had voluntarily lost them. He just felt a bit upset when he thought about such an experience in his past life. The problem now is that in order not to recall those corrupt memories, Jiang doesn't even know which hegemon caught him. There is no goal in seeking revenge. Please select your attribute development bias. The guide said again. I choose to achieve balanced development. Jiang said without hesitation. The benefit of having an avatar is that in the future, there is no need to learn skills or purchase equipment. As long as you become a fantasy character, you can have your own skills and equipment, including both physical and magical characters. So equilibrium is the best choice. Ding, choose to lean toward setting completion. Wishing you the life experience you want in the Metaworld. The guide smiled and said. The initial space changes. The vast white space instantly turned into a sea of stars. Ding. System prompt. As you are a player who logged in on the first day of opening the Metaverse server, the Metaverse official has decided to gift you an item or skill related to talent. Is there any such activity? Well, when I first came into contact with this game in my past life, it was already 6 months later, and this kind of server opening activity is quite normal. After the system prompt was completed, a shining star appeared from the sea of stars. Gently touch. A strange ripple full of rhythm rippled open, the starlight disappeared, and a huge clock appeared in place. Dimension Incarnation Core Item. Engraved Emperor, Golden Epic, Unique, Item Description. This is the core item of the fantasy character Kazuki 3, which can only be used by people with the talent of Dimensional Incarnation. Effect. After use, you can obtain the incarnation and skill panel of the fantasy character Shizaki Kwang-san. Note. Some skills will be adjusted based on game balance. In Metaverse, the rarity levels of items, skills, and equipment are the same, all based on white normal, blue excellent, purple rare, red legend, golden epic, and colorful mythology. And some unique props will have an additional unique attribute, especially the core item of the fantasy character, which is mostly a unique existence. Ah! Jiang looked bewildered and didn't know how to express his shock. In my past life, I only got a prop a few years after opening the server. Jiang can be certain that the Emperor will come to his hands again, but getting it at the beginning is a bit outrageous, isn't it? Get an epic prop at the beginning, and you can still use props from later stages. Hiss. Am I the biological son of the Yuan world in this lifetime? Jiang was shocked. Chapter 5. Becoming an Adventurer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before entering the game, Jiang gave his character a name, 1 Su per character. There aren't many players right now, so it's easy to take these words and open personal attributes. Name. Su level. LV1 life level. Ordinary human talent. Dimensional avatar, advanced talent, equipment. Empty, skill. Empty, attack. 10, strength plus intelligence, /2, balance development attack calculation method, defense. 1, constitution asterisk 0.1, life. 100, constitution asterisk 10, magic. 50, spirit asterisk 5, attribute, balanced development. Strength 10, intelligence 10, physical fitness 10, spirit 10. The health level represents the attribute increase brought by each player's upgrade, while ordinary players increase each basic attribute by 10 points per level. If a player leans towards developing strength, their basic attributes will become 20 strength, 10 physique, and 10 spirit. Intelligence becomes an optional attribute, and similarly, players who lean towards intelligence do so. In the early stages of the game, players are mostly at the level of ordinary human life. After all, the metaworld only spreads within the range of Earth, and advanced life will only appear when invading other planets. Those lives can earn hundreds of basic attribute points for every level they level up. Jiang used his talent to transform the carved emperor. An additional skill instantly appeared on the panel. Skill. Dimensional Avatar. Shizaki Rampage 3, after using the skills, Jiang instantly transformed into Shichi Kwangsan wearing black and red spiritual clothing. He didn't have any accidents, nor did he feel uncomfortable. In his past life, he basically lived in an incarnation and became mentally accustomed to it. At this point, there has been a huge change in the data panel, and a lot of skills have been added. Skill. Aleph LV.1, Consumption. 10 o'clock time value passive effect. Increases all your own speed by 10% active effect. Hit the target, increase all speed by 100%, last for 5 seconds, cooldown for 1 minute. Skill. Bet LV.1, Consumption. 20 points of time value passive effect. When hit, reduces all speed by 10% active effect. Enhance passive effect, reduce target speed by 50%, last for 3 seconds, cooldown for 1 minute. Skill, Gimel LV.1, unlocked, skill, Dalit LV.1, unlocked, skill, Yud Bet LV.1, unlocked, except for 2 initial skills, all other skills are in a gray state and cannot be used. The first and second bullets, both of these skills are auxiliary skills. The attack speed of an ordinary player is once per second. With a passive one shot, it becomes an attack speed of 1.1 times per second. If you take the initiative to shoot yourself, the attack speed can briefly reach 2.1 times per second. Directly doubled the output efficiency. The active effect of one bullet is to increase all speeds, which means that in addition to attack speed, movement speed and other speeds can also be increased. Combined with the deceleration effect of the second bullet, it is estimated that all monsters of the same level in the metaverse can be killed by Jiang Kite. The incarnation of Kwang San does not consume magic, nor is it the spiritual power set in the novel, but rather a new attribute, time value. Regarding this time value, it is necessary to mention the core item, the carved emperor. Talent. Zafkiel, effect. Each time you kill a low-level life, you gain 3 time points, and every time you kill a normal life, you gain 10 time points. A coordinate can be set, and when dealing fatal damage, it automatically consumes 100 time points to transfer to that coordinate, avoiding death and entering a 10-minute weak state, reducing 4-dimensional attributes by 50%, with a cooldown of 24 hours. The time value can be stored, and the current storage limit is 100. All skills of the Crazy 3 avatar cannot be separated from the Emperor of Moments, especially the setting of time values. Although the current time limit is only 100, killing monsters can earn time points. It can be said that using war to support war is much more convenient than using magic. Jiang glanced back at the panel behind Hua. Name. Shizaki Kwang San level. LV1 health level. Kabbalah Elf, limited by the subject, unable to obtain advanced health attributes temporarily, talent. Carving Emperor, advanced talent, charm, intermediate talent, skills. Aleph LV1, Bet LV1 attack. 10, strength plus intelligence, /2, balance development attack calculation method, defense. 1, constitution *0.1, life. 100, constitution *10, magic. 50, spirit *5, time value. 0 attribute, balanced development. Strength 10, intelligence 10, physical fitness 10, spirit 10. What kind of thing is charm? The effect is to have a certain chance of doubling the increased favorability. This is at the innate talent of Kwang-san. Jiang looked at the extra talent in confusion, not quite understanding why Kwang-san had this talent. But then he remembered last night when he finished work, Kwang-san only lightly teased him, and he had an almost uncontrollable impulse. This may be a seductive effect. Now Jiang understands that crazy 3 is his future self. Is the behavior of that clone an active provocation or a subconscious one? If actively teasing, it can also be understood as trying to tease one's own bad taste. If subconscious behavior, Jiang thought about it and suddenly shuddered greatly. Quickly shook his head and drove out all the bad ideas. Although his attributes have not changed, Jiang has added 2 epic level skills and 1 talent at the beginning compared to ordinary players, which puts him at a sufficiently high starting point. Enter the game. After reading the attribute panel, Jiang first cancelled the avatar skill and returned to its original appearance. After all, everyone started with ordinary players wearing beginner clothes and holding beginner sticks. Jiang came in with gorgeous costumes and 2 guns, which shocked everyone. At present, we are still developing in a low-key manner and making a fortune quietly. Ding. System prompt. You have entered the 13th beginner village. Wishing you a pleasant game. The starry sea in the space slowly fades away, the melodious breeze blows, and the fresh soil rises. Jiang appears at the resurrection point of Novice Village 13. At this point, many players in the 13th Novice Village were already running around and were shocked by the touch brought by this game. This VR game can give them a sense of touch, and there is even slight feedback on body sensations such as pain and taste. Unbelievable. Jiang knew that this was the effect of mental connection, so he was not surprised. Then walk straight towards the adventure organization. Every novice village has this organization, which serves as a platform for NPCs to release missions and players to receive them. Moreover, this organization has many powerful adventurers, and its presence in the later stages is quite high. Arriving at the adventurer center, I found the beautiful waitress at the front desk. Hello, I want to become an adventurer. Chapter 6. Angry Red-Eyed Rabbit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, becoming an adventurer requires paying 2 gold coins or killing 10 wild monsters. The NPC of the Adventure Association wore a professional smile on their face. Just entered the game, how could there be gold coins? I choose to kill 10 wild monsters, Jiang said calmly. Ding. Does player Su accept the strength test of the Adventurers Association? Kill 10 wild monsters. Task description. Poor adventurer, go to the wilderness to kill 10 monsters and hand over their materials to the association to show your strength. Reward. Adventurer Badge X1, experience plus 100. Accept. Jiang accepted the task without hesitation. In the memory of the past life, players need to join the Adventure Association in order to have a continuous stream of tasks, and only tasks received through the association can receive guaranteed rewards. In the setting of Metaverse, when taking tasks from NPCs, there is a chance that NPCs will use various reasons to not pay the task reward, or disappear directly from the human world, making players work in vain. After all, NPCs in the Metaworld are not traditional NPCs, and their essential thinking patterns are no different from those of intelligent life. Therefore, it is normal for them to engage in cheating and playing tricks. In addition, most players initially did not know that this test mission actually had hidden conditions. The task does not explicitly state what monsters to kill. If you kill 10 ordinary monsters, you can only receive a normal level adventurer badge and can only accept normal level adventure missions. If you go beyond the level to kill monsters, you can become an elite level adventurer and accept higher and rarer missions. Nowadays, players are unaware of these hidden conditions, and coupled with the international environment's resistance to this game, if Su Jiang does not speak up, he may still be like in his previous life, at least 3 months later, before anyone can discover it. Leave the Adventure Association. Su Jiang arrived outside the novice village. The village entrance is a spacious open space with some bouncing slimes on it, and many players are chasing and beating these slimes. For the Elite Adventurer badge, Su Jiang naturally couldn't hit a few slimes back, and he looked into the distance. The edge of the open space is surrounded by a sharp fence to guard against monsters running out of the forest. TSK, another machine who went to die. A few players who were surrounding Slim on the open ground saw Su Jiang cross the fence and enter the forest without hesitation, and couldn't help but exclaim. They all wore smiles of schadenfreude on their faces. I can't gamble for 3 minutes, he will definitely be knocked out of all beginner equipment and appear at the entrance of the beginner village wearing underwear. Hee, I'll bet for 1 minute. No hit, finding monsters takes more than a minute. After speaking, everyone laughed and fell silent. Alas, they are all people who have come here. Su Jiang came to the forest. A rabbit with a red light shining in its eyes jumped left and right in the bushes, chewing on the vegetable leaves while looking around cautiously. Red-eyed rabbit level. LV.2 health level. Ordinary monsters attack. 20 defense. 1 life. 80 explanation. Even rabbits in a hurry can bite people. Don't provoke them. Glancing at the monster's attributes, the attack attribute of the red-eyed rabbit is even twice that of him. If surrounded by the rabbits, you can send him away with 5 moves. The red-eyed rabbit has strong attributes, but it is still not enough to handle the missions of the Adventurer Association. Su Jiang suddenly had an idea in his heart. Dimension Incarnation. Shizaki Rampage 3. In the next moment, Su Jiang transformed into a beautiful girl with long and short ponytails, dressed in a dark red spirit suit, and holding an ancient rifle. Her bright red eyes seemed to ripple with ripples, and a seductive smile was outlined at the corner of her mouth. With memories from his past life, Su Jiang easily identified himself as Kwang San and became familiar with his combat style. Bang! The vegetable leaves chewed by the red-eyed rabbit were instantly battered by the bullets of Kwang San. The red-eyed rabbit, with a low desire to attack, sensed an enemy and immediately ran away. It bounced and left the spot, while Kwang San quietly followed. When it finds another place, looks around and feels safe, then takes out a piece of vegetable leaf and chews it slowly. Following him, Kwang San, hiding behind the tree, once again aimed at its vegetable leaves and fired a shot. Bang! The fresh vegetable leaves were battered by bullets again. The red-eyed rabbit was stunned and carefully looked around, but did not find any enemy. The red-eyed rabbit can only continue to relocate. Bang! Transfer location. Bang! The red-eyed rabbit's hair gradually turned pink, which was a sign of anger. Another transfer of location. Bang! The hair changed from pink to deep red, with 2 bright red eyes and a ferocious expression on the face. The exposed rabbit teeth seemed to sparkle fiercely. The wild man hiding behind the tree let out a few cheers. Allah Allah, Mr. Rabbit is getting angry. The red-eyed rabbit heard the sound of speech and turned its head to see a human dressed in gorgeous clothing. She is the one who breaks her own food. Instantly warm up. Jick. The body of the red-eyed rabbit swells to half the size of a human. Angry red-eyed rabbit level. LV.2 health level. Elite monsters attack. 50 defense. 0 life. 1000 explanation. Oh my, the rabbit is angry. Epsilon equals epsilon equals epsilon equals epsilon equals epsilon equals this attribute 6 bang.10. A shot hit the target, and a red damage number appeared on the head of the enraged red-eyed rabbit. The red-eyed rabbit discovered that the human had even attacked it, which was simply contempt for it. Its 2 bulging muscular rabbit legs were slightly lowered. Rabbit head impact. The agility of the red-eyed rabbit was very fast, almost instantly right in front of its eyes. Rampage 3 dodges, with passive attacks of first and second bullets attached to normal attacks. Her own speed increases by 10%, while the speed of the red-eyed rabbit is reduced by 10%. Between attack and defense, it is enough for her to react. Bang! Less than a second later, Kwang San fired another shot, and with the passive support of one bullet, her attack speed was 1.1 beats per second. The speed difference between the two is at least 20%, and Kwang San's bullets continuously hit the enraged red-eyed rabbit. 10.15. Weakness attack, 10.20. Critical strike, 0.10. A series of gunshots rang out in the forest, and the red-eyed rabbit's health had already been reduced by half. The slowed-down rabbit monster couldn't even touch Kwang San's small body. After dodging, Kwang San fired several shots at the red-eyed rabbit. Half a minute later, this angry red-eyed rabbit shrank like a deflated balloon, lying on the ground with an unwilling face and closing its eyes. The red-eyed rabbit never knows why this human wants to explode its food until death. Is its white and tender body not worthy of eating her bullets? Chapter 7. Level Upgrade. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A level 1 player who wants to kill a rabbit in a state of rage must have at least 10 people continuously taking medicine to pass. Kwang San looked at the slowly disappearing body of the red-eyed rabbit lying on the ground and chuckled. Killing an elite monster at a higher level earns 10 experience points and increases the experience bar by 10%. The profits can be said to be quite substantial. Killing a slime alone is only a bit of experience, and it may not necessarily be enough to grab it. After all, there are definitely more players squeezing into the village to kill slime now. The body of the red-eyed rabbit turned into light particles and disappeared. Several props exploded in place. Kwang San picked it up. You have obtained, elite level red-eyed rabbit skin, mission item, X1, 10 copper coins, and a reduced cabbage leaf-shaped whiteboard necklace. Equipment. Rabbit talisman, white, wearing level. LV.2 type. Necklace effect. Defense +1 active skill. Summon a vegetable leaf, which can restore 5 health points and cooldown for 1 minute after eating. Not bad. The first monster exploded its equipment. Although it is a whiteboard equipment, in the early stages of game development, there are also many whiteboards that people need. The equipment of Metaverse includes 7 parts. Head, top, bottom, shoes, necklace, ring, and weapon. Unfortunately, in an incarnation state, one cannot wear equipment. The talent of Dimensional Avatar is powerful, but after using it, non-character exclusive equipment skills will not take effect. Simply put, when Jiang becomes Kwang San, any equipment and skills carried by the body will not be effective, only the equipment and skills carried by Kwang San themselves will be effective. The Crazy 3 avatar comes with its own weapons and armor, but it has not been unlocked yet. Thinking of unlocking equipment and skills again, Kwang San felt a faint pain in her liver after tidying up the fallen objects on the ground. Kwang San turned his gaze to another red-eyed rabbit. While the player has not yet arrived in this area, what she needs to do is to complete the Adventure Association's mission as soon as possible and accelerate her growth pace. She didn't want to let others know so quickly that this game would sometimes have anime characters like Sakamoto. Whether she is willing or not, there will definitely be her topics on the game forum, which will affect her real life. Now that the Metaworld cannot yet affect reality, Kwang San still doesn't want anyone to follow through and find her true identity, and then repeat the same mistake. Bang, bang, bang. Anger the red-eyed rabbit with the same method, then aim the rifle at them, and bullets wrapped in red spiritual power fly out one by one, like a deadly reaper, shooting into the body of the red-eyed rabbit. 10.10.15, weak point hit. 10. As a series of bright red numbers emerged, the second angry red-eyed rabbit also lay down with a face full of unwillingness. The experience bar of Kwang San has increased by 10% again. This time, there is no equipment, only one elite-level red-eyed rabbit skin, mission item, and 10 copper coins. Normal, the equipment just now may have been delivered as a first kill. After all, if it is shipped every time, the currency system can easily become chaotic. Kwang San learned from his past life experiences that the success rate of Metaverse is quite low. The probability of exploding equipment seems to be lower than the probability of making gold in card-drawing mobile games, and killing ordinary monsters is not guaranteed, purely relying on luck. Killed 2 elite-level monsters, gained experience, and also gained 20 time points. Just in used, launching the active effect of 1 bullet, takes 10 time points and only lasts for 5 seconds, let alone 2 bombs. At the moment, let's not think about skills anymore. Being able to attack with firearms has already given her a significant advantage over ordinary players. Bang, bang. 10.10.10. Kwang San repeated the above operation, infuriating the rabbit before attacking its body, slowing it down, and then quickly distancing it to avoid being hit by the red-eyed rabbit's skills. If she collides, she will lose 49 points of health, and if she gets hit twice, she will only have skin left. She has to deal with it carefully. At this moment, if there were other players in the forest, he could see the crazed rabbit constantly chasing the girl with fierce eyes as if it was about to bite her. The girl elegantly avoided the rabbit's attack, pulled the trigger, and hit the bullet on the rabbit's body. The poor red-eyed rabbit was played with by the agile human in his palm. Ding, you killed an enraged red-eyed rabbit and gained 10 points of experience. Ding, you killed a furious red-eyed rabbit. Ding, you killed. Red-eyed rabbits are angry, swollen, and huge under the harassment of Crazy 3. Then he was shot with a gun in his little hand and turned into a corpse with a face full of unwillingness. Killed until the 10th one, but Kwang San didn't reveal any items other than rabbit skin and copper coins. Ding, level up. Your current level is LV.2. After killing 10 angry red-eyed rabbits, the level naturally reached LV.2, and a faint golden light appeared around the body. System prompt. Your health level has been slightly released. Attribute growth increased to 11. As an ordinary life, Su Jiang's basic attribute growth is only 10 points, which means that for every level up, his strength, intelligence, physique, and spirit increase by 10 points. But now it increases by 11 points for each level, including the old level. So the current attributes of Kwang San are: Attack 22 Defense 2.2 Life 220 Magic 110 Time Value 100 Storage Limit Reached. Attributes: Balanced Growth, Strength 22, Intelligence 22, Constitution 22, Spirit 22. After upgrading, the attributes of Kwang San have doubled. If we continue to kill rabbits now, the process can be reduced by at least half. Although the speed of killing rabbits can become faster, Kwang San has no intention of continuing to kill them, as all the tasks have been completed. Canceling the transformation status, Su Jiang took 3 steps and took 2 steps, running towards the novice village. At this moment, a large group of players were waiting for the refreshed slime at the entrance of the novice village. Some were waiting for rabbits by the sharp fence, while others were running into the forest, guiding the red-eyed rabbits over and then chopping them through the fence. Through the fence, the rabbit was just led over and the next second, it was unknown who had killed it. I'll go, you guys are too crazy. It's not enough to brush it out in just 1 second. Mua, who stole my experience? Ah. Why doesn't this game have beginner funds when it comes to opening a server? I can't even afford a bottle of medicine, how can I fight monsters? I'm still in a weak state when I die, and I can't even beat it. The speed of this red-eyed rabbit is also too outrageous. If I hit it once, I will definitely get hit. If I cut it to half health, it will directly kill me. Playing with yarn. The chat channel is incredibly lively. As soon as players enter the game, they experience the power of mind connection and excitedly rush out to try to level up against monsters. Unexpectedly, they can only start by killing slime, and if they encounter a level 2 red-eyed rabbit, they will die. Chapter 8. Elite Adventurers. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Just as all the players were rushing to snatch the slime monsters and plot to kill the red-eyed rabbit, Jiang had already risen to level 2. Enjoy all monster-killing experiences alone. Upgrading is fast, of course. No matter how fast it is, it's better to complete tasks quickly. The experience required for upgrading to the Metaworld is basically inflated once per level, and only by continuously completing tasks can one quickly level up. Come to the Adventurer Association and hand over 10 elite rabbit fur to the NPC at the front desk. Wow, Adventurer, you were able to kill 10 elite monsters by jumping over the level. It's really amazing. The front NPC of the Adventure Association looked shocked. Then he said admiringly, "Powerful adventurers, please accept the rewards from our Adventure Association." Ding, you have successfully completed the test of the Adventure Association. The Adventure Association has a positive rating of +5 and a reputation of +100. System prompt. Congratulations on obtaining the Elite Adventure Association Member Badge X1, Experience +100, Adventure Association Member Favorability +5, Reputation +100. Experience bar increased to 50%, in addition to the most desired Elite Badge, Reputation and Favorability are both very good rewards. System prompt. Your name has been spread within the Adventure Association, increasing the probability of taking rare missions. Another system prompt appears. Jiang looked at the effect of the Elite Level Badge. Elite Adventure Association Members Prop Quality. Excellent prop description. Your strength has been recognized by the Adventure Association. You can get a discount of 0.5% on the price when shopping within the Adventure Association. The probability of receiving rare tasks is +10%, and the task reward settlement is +20%. The combination of badges and favorability increases the probability of taking rare missions by a significant margin compared to others. Dear Adventurer, you have successfully joined the Adventure Association. Would you be willing to share the burden for the Adventure Association, said the front desk NPC with concern. Of course, it's my honor to solve the trouble for the Adventure Association, Jiang said very seriously. After speaking, NPC looked happy and unfolded a semi-transparent virtual screen in front of Jiang, which had a large number of white tasks, blue tasks, and purple tasks. Nowadays, players are still playing around in the game, and there are very few people who know about the Adventure Association and join it. Therefore, it is normal for the Adventure Association to accumulate a large number of tasks. There is currently no limit on the number of tasks that players can take. Players can quickly upgrade by taking tasks. After 6 months, when the Mind Network arrives, the number of tasks they can take will be limited, and then their upgrade speed will be much slower. At this point, the role of badges and prestige comes into play. If there are more rare level tasks in the received tasks, the speed of gaining experience is faster than others. Over time, the profits will be considerable. Jiang looked and took 3 rare purple missions. They are: Kill 100 wild dogs, rare, level 2 task, task description. These wild dogs have been wandering on the village road, causing great inconvenience to passers-by. We hope adventurers can kill them and make them fearful. Task rewards. Experience +100, copper coins +100 current progress. 0 out of 100 collect 1000 eggs, rare, level 2 task, task description. Many people have appeared in the novice village, and the village chief is worried that the village's food supply may not be sufficient. He hopes that adventurers can help him collect enough food. Task rewards. Experience +100, copper coins +100 current progress. 0/1000 to drive away the mice in the field, rare, level 2 task, task description. The fields where villagers grow food have been constantly disturbed by mice, and the food crops have been extensively damaged. We hope that adventurers can help. Task rewards. Experience plus 100, copper coins plus 100 current progress. 0/20 Jiang was too lazy to take on tasks back and forth, so he decided to take on 3. Stepping out of the entrance of the novice village again, the army besieging Slim continued to fight fiercely. Passing through the crowd, we arrived at the only village road in Novice Village, where groups of wild dogs roamed along the flat road in front of us. Wandering Wild Dog Level. LV.2 Health Level. Ordinary Monsters Attack. 25 Defense. 0 Life. 100 Explanation. Lick and bite, the meat is really delicious. The Novice Village is surrounded by level 2 wild monsters, and only when you reach further away can you encounter higher level monsters. The attributes of wild dogs are slightly higher than those of rabbits, and Jiang, who is promoted to level 2, needs at least 5 shots to kill one. The problem now is that these wild dogs are in a 30.30 formation, and if one of them is attacked, the other 2 will also follow. Ordinary players are easily defeated in this situation. Bang, bang, bang! Jiang transformed in the shadow and raised his hand to shoot at 3 wild dogs. 3 bullets with red tail lights hit the targets separately, successfully reducing their speed. 22.33, weak point hit, 0.22. 3 bright red numbers popped out on the wild dog's head. Woo! 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 The pain made the wild dog turn red in an instant and run rapidly towards Kwang San. Unfortunately, under the passive influence of the first and second rounds, the speed difference between the 2 is 20%. Wang Wu. In the end, under the evasion and attack of Kwang San, he managed to deal with 3 wild dogs in 20 seconds. Poor dog paws still couldn't touch Kwang San's clothes until they died. Ding, you killed a wild dog and gained 2 points of experience, a copper coin. Ding, you killed a wild dog. Ding, you. The speed of the wild 3 kills monster is very fast, but it only takes 5 minutes to kill 50 wild dogs. It's still a bit dangerous to hit 3 wild dogs alone. After all, being able to avoid the first attack may not necessarily be able to avoid the second or third attack. At this point, it depends on the situation to use the first bullet and the second bullet as the active ones. Fortunately, the skill is awesome, otherwise, even if there is a speed gap, 3 wild dogs can't evade attacking at the same time. At the same time, after killing 50 wild dogs, Kwang San's level reached level 3. The attributes have been improved once again. The system prompts that your health level has been slightly released. Basic attribute growth increased to 12. Current attributes. Attack. 36 defense. 3.6 life. 360 magic. 180 time value. 53 attributes, balanced growth. Strength 36, intelligence 36, physical fitness 36, spirit 36. Great, with an increase in attack power, it means the speed of killing monsters has increased again. Bang, bang, bang! The village road was filled with the sound of gunshots from Kwang San, and players were attracted by the sound. They only dared to stand outside and curiously look inside, trying to see clearly what was going on. 5 minutes later, 50 wild dogs lay on the ground again. Kwang San gains 100 experience points and 53 copper coins again. It has to be said that the shipping rate of this game is really low. 100 wild dogs were sold without any equipment. Chapter 9. The Rat King. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After completing the task of killing 100 wild dogs, Jiang quickly shifted his position. Go to the chicken farm behind the novice village. NPC's chickens are invincible, and this task requires players to drive these chickens away. The frightened chickens will lay eggs. This task belongs to a very simple and highly rewarding category. When Jiang drove the chickens everywhere to fly and lay eggs, he also noticed something on the chat channel of Novice Village on the 13th. Someone said that gunshots were heard on the village road, and they suspected that a player had drawn a talent related to guns when entering the game. Otherwise, everyone would be in dire straits. How did he get a gun? The gunfire was so loud that it was normal to be heard, but no one should have seen Risin Shizaki. Jiang picked up the eggs on the ground and pondered for a moment. If the transformation status is discovered, there must be photos of Crazy 3 everywhere on the chat channel now. Watching these players leisurely, if they knew that this game would have an impact on reality in the future, would they still go out and have fun with such a relaxed mood? Oh no. System prompt. You have obtained an egg. System prompt. You have obtained. System prompt. The entire chicken farm was left in chaos by Jiang, and players who discovered Jiang driving chickens were curious about what he was doing. Soon, onlookers also joined the chicken driving operation. How could a person who could hold tens of thousands of VR devices to play games possibly surpass a chicken? They all found it very interesting for a while. However, such a big commotion in the chicken farm could not have been detected by the village chief. All players who entered the chicken farm without permission were kicked out, and each person even had to compensate the village chief with 100 copper coins to appease those frightened chickens. The player was immediately dumbfounded. There's no copper coin now, not a penny. Jiang walked past them happily, handed over the collected eggs to the village chief, and left with a joyful expression on his face. Seeing that Jiang could leave normally, these players who were detained by the villagers were immediately dissatisfied. Why doesn't he have to pay a fine? I saw that the first person to drive the chicken was him, he was the culprit. The village chief twisted his mouth in anger and shouted, he's a respected adventurer. How can you guys from unknown backgrounds match him? Let's go, take them all to the fields and give us a day of farm work if we don't have money to pay for it. Under the command of the village chief, dozens of people marched towards the fields near the village. Some players who didn't know the truth thought there was a mission and followed along. At this point, there are many more posts on the game forum. Family members, who knows? I just went to catch the chickens in the novice village and owed 100 copper coins. I can't go back now. I'm begging kind-hearted people to give me alms. Does anyone know what an adventurer is? I've run through all the NPCs in the beginner village, but I can't get any quests. This game is too confusing, isn't it? Adventurers, may it be related to the Adventurers Association in the village. But the beauty inside said that non-adventurers and mission publishers cannot enter. Jiang saw that these players had not yet developed their true gameplay, so he replied in one of the QA posts, if you want to take on a mission, you can apply to become an adventurer from the NPC in the Adventure Association. Ah, is that right? I'm going, but I have to go through an intermediate platform to complete tasks. Good lord, 18 children in a row. This gameplay will eventually be discovered, Jiang just told them a little in advance. The village chief escorted a group to the field, and Jiang's third task was also related to that place, so he followed the crowd and passed by in a grand manner. After arriving at the place, each person held a burning straw in their hand and fiercely poked the mouse hole on the ground. The thick smoke from all directions suffocated the underground mice and they all fled. Not long after, the task of driving away the mice has also been completed. Jiang has achieved success and retired. If he were the only one on this task, it would take some more time, but with so many people helping, it would be completed in a short while. Go to the Adventurers Association and submit 3 tasks. Ding, congratulations on completing the task. The adventure reward settlement has increased by 20%, and you have gained 120 experience points and 120 copper coins. Ding, congratulations on completing the task. Ding, congratulations. With 3 consecutive sound prompts, Su Jiang's level was raised to level 4, experience 16%. Your attributes have been improved. Current attributes. Attack. 40 defense. 4 life. 400 magic. 200 attributes, balanced growth. Strength 40, intelligence 40, physical 40, spirit 40. The 4-dimensional attributes of the ontology have been upgraded by 10 points each. Su Jiang switches to the panel of Kwang San. The system prompts that Shizaki Kwang San's health level has been slightly released. Basic attribute growth increased to 13. Current attributes. Attack. 52 defense. 5.2 life. 520 magic. 260 time value. 53 attributes, balanced growth. Strength 52, intelligence 52, physical fitness 52, spirit 52. Every time Kwang San upgrades, the 4-dimensional attribute growth limit will be slightly increased. If you reach level 10, the template of Crazy 3 will have 400 more attribute points than others out of thin air. Undoubtedly an embodiment of epic level. Su Jiang remembers that the final upper limit of the 3 templates of Qi Kwang in the previous life was 100 points for each level up Tisk Tsk, destroy heaven and earth. A large number of players went to drive away the mice, while Su Jiang continued to take on rare missions and upgrade to kill monsters. Before there is a limit on the number of tasks to be taken, try to do as many tasks as possible. Otherwise, there won't be such an easy way to obtain experience and copper coins in the future. Just as Su Jiang completed 5 rare level missions and increased his level to 5, 70% experience, a game announcement instantly appeared above the novice village. Ding, system prompt. Due to the behavior of players in the 13th novice village, a large number of mice have been driven out of their homes, leaving them homeless. Wishing for a sigh of joy, the mice have decided to invite the Rat King from the forest to avenge them. Please assist the village chief and resist the Rat King's attack. System prompt. The Golden Life Rat King will appear in the field in 10 minutes. Players are advised to be prepared. All players who enter the fields of the 13th Novice Village will automatically receive resistance tasks, and completing the tasks will receive rich rewards. If the task fails, the granary of the Novice Village will be destroyed, and all players will enter a state of hunger. All attributes will be reduced by 10%, lasting for 1 day. Chapter 10. Mop God of War. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Do you still have this hidden gameplay in Novice Village? Su Jiang looked at the system announcement with a bewildered expression on his face. At this time, there is also a discussion frenzy on the game forum, as most countries are currently boycotting this game, not allowing live streaming or public play, so everyone can only chat in the game's built.in forum. This is the first time an announcement has appeared, and everyone is a bit shocked. Which Novice Village is so impressive? After only a few hours of server operation, a system announcement was made. What's going on in the 13th Novice Village? What did they do? Did they fight mice? Envy, is this the first golden boss to appear in the game? I don't know what props, drool. JPG, will pop out. We had a hard time hitting a slime, let alone a boss, it would definitely end in failure. The speed of posting new posts on the forum is very fast, almost all of them are related to the 13th Novice Village. Through these posts, Su Jiang also saw the golden boss appearing in the 13th Novice Village, which is the same size as a cow and has golden yellow fur all over its body. Rat King, level. LV.3 health level. Golden magic attack. 200 defense. 0 life. 10,000 explanation. Rat, I'm going to get angry. Pinch it. 200 points of attack power, 1 child at a time. This indicates that he is as mischievous as ever. I don't know what equipment can explode if I kill it. The players on the forum eagerly watched, while the players on site excitedly rushed forward to kill and deal single-digit damage to the Rat King, causing no pain or itching. Then, they were swept back to the resurrection point by a tail. Jiang also arrived at the scene and saw this golden monster. All the players turned red-eyed. Anyway, they were not afraid to wear shoes barefoot and died crazily. Standing in the distance, Jiang quickly spotted a familiar figure. ID, Mop God of War. Don't be fooled by the fact that this ID carries a God of War, thinking it's very domineering. In fact, the true meaning is to mop and stick to shit, like a God of War alive. This meaning was expressed in a private interview after she became famous. At that time, everyone was curious about why a girl with a soft and cute appearance named her, and there was no answer after guessing. The private interview happened to collect questions that players wanted to ask her. She answered very honestly. In her past life, Tua Zhanshen was a very popular gamer because she also possessed the talent of dimensional incarnation. Being able to become various powerful anime characters, how could it be without prestige? Unfortunately, in his previous life, Jiang could only transform into everyday characters such as Shawu and Black Cat before obtaining the Mad 3 avatar. His combat abilities were completely unknown and he could not possibly interact with such high-end players. Speaking of which, the Mop God of War obtained the core items of the two incarnations, Rem and True Red, very early in his past life. Rem didn't mention it, but True Red's large-scale magical attacks were very useful in the early stages. I don't know if there's a chance to obtain this core item after some thought. Jiang quickly shook his head. Because it is uncertain when the Mop War God obtained the core items of these two characters, he cannot follow the Mop War God every day and seize her opportunities. Moreover, Jiang didn't particularly want these two incarnations. If he really wanted them, Jiang hoped to obtain the incarnation of the Mercury Lamp. If he could use the skill of the End domain in reality, it would be a huge investment. Of course, none of this counts as much. After all, the abilities of these incarnations are only special and difficult to deal with. If we say they are stronger, they will definitely not be able to compare to the later version of the God of War, Kona Kami. At least before his rebirth, Jiang had not seen any more violent incarnations than Kona. It's better not to snatch her early incarnation. Players with the talent of dimensional incarnation, once weak, will be coveted by countless people. Of course, Rem and the incarnation of True Red are not competing, but he wants the incarnation of Connor. No one can resist the pleasure of controlling thunder, especially the powerful incarnation that can evaporate a city with just one ordinary skill. At this point, in addition to the player's eyes turning red, the NPC in the 13th Novice Village also turned red. Because the food they worked hard to cultivate withered under the huahua of the Rat King, which means they are likely to go hungry this winter. Thousands of fearless players keep using suicide attacks to stop the Rat King from destroying everywhere, while NPCs standing outside the spiky fence are using bows and arrows to launch long range attacks. 10.1 Wooden stick without arrows. 3 Stone impact. 12.9 The players died round after round, and it is estimated that most of the players who have gained experience have died out, perfectly transforming into the appearance of just leaving the factory. Oh, there are still 3 or 2 built-in beginner equipment on the newly manufactured body, and now only white shorts are left. Jiang silently stood behind the crowd, fishing and picking up stones on the ground for long-range attacks. If he can't become a crazy third, he won't be able to widen the speed gap with the Rat King. Even if he has 700 health points now, he won't be able to withstand it a few times. Anyway, this task is a big pot of rice. As long as the Rat King dies, everyone will have a reward. If the mission is really about to fail, it won't be too late for him to secretly become a crazy third. 12.10.15 Stone impact. 8 In the attack of the storm, an inconspicuous 0.15 appeared on the head of Rat King. But this number has not been ignored by the dragging God of War. She saw very clearly that a stone had hit the Rat King, causing 15 damage. She was momentarily stunned. At this stage, if someone can deal this damage with a stone, how high their attributes should be. Especially the damage calculation method for throwing stones is. Final damage sad face strength x 0.3. Defense, which can deal 15 damage points, indicating that the person's strength is as high as 50 points. How could this be? Shouldn't I have just been promoted to level 5 after opening the server? Is talent related to throwing stones? Or did he cheat? The Mop warrior was stunned for a moment, then quickly observed around the battlefield, paying attention to the players throwing stones. Hard work pays off to those who have a heart. The Mop war god saw an uncle picking up a stone on the ground and throwing it over. The damage number of 0.15 appeared on the Rat King's body. Gulu, the Mop war god nervously swallowed a mouthful of saliva and quietly followed behind the uncle. The Rat King was restless by the tactics of a sea of people, screaming loudly while curling up and spinning in circles in place. The hard mouse tail was thrown out of its shadow, like the sickle of the reaper reaping life. There was a moment of confusion around the Rat King. It only has 2,000 health left. Charge. Come on. The first kill of the golden boss is right in front of us. Great disability, great disability. Everyone became excited upon hearing this. Only the Mop God of War, who was hiding behind the crowd, was foolish. Just now, his tail hit Uncle twice, and 2 damage numbers of 0.195 appeared on his body. This uncle's defense is actually as high as 5 points. And he didn't die even after taking 390 damage points. That means his health is also very high. Is it on the hook?